G'day viewers, Peter here. How they hanging? It's a couple of days later now on this time windows story, and some things have happened, so I thought I'd keep you up to date. It's just a couple of days ago it was pissing down rain. I'll show you if you look out at my driveway now. The sun's out. It's 42 degrees today, and Australia changed to centigrade metric weather in about 1970, I guess, and so 42 degrees is something like 106, somewhere around there. So it's a pretty warm day. Actually, can you see my lemon tree? The lemon tree's got shitloads of lemons on it, and probably because I piss on it every night, but it seems to be working. They just drop on the ground. Every day we wake up and there's a few more on the ground. So I'll come in and tell you what we've been doing. I'll actually close the door to keep a bit of heat out. All right, so we've got this one laying on the floor. It looks a bit like R2-D2 has been hung, drawn and quartered, or met a guillotine or something. But I just thought it's hard to see how these come apart. This is the first time I've ever had one apart. So you can see here we got the eyebrow I was talking about, and that's just stapled on. These little Viper tweeters, they're stapled on with a mesh guard. I'm not quite sure what the idea of the 4 little pads is. Maybe it's like some sort of a lens. You can see that's the model number of the tweeter. So what I have done, I didn't put any of this on film because I don't believe in doing that. Like, I don't make content. I'll say this for because I've got some new viewers since I put this time windows video up, and I tell people that I don't make content. I just live my life. I'm retired now, and I work in the shed every day. Mostly I do engineering and automotive projects. But I don't do tasks for the purpose of making a video about it. I live my life, and then sometimes I think if it would be interesting to somebody, I'll shoot a video straight off my phone and I'll put it up. And that's why I don't edit. You'll notice there's no editing. I just come in and talk for 10 minutes. It's mostly for my son, who moved up to Queensland. He moved to a town still in Australia, but it's about nearly 3,000 miles north of me. And so he misses, he's always wondering what I do in the shed. And so essentially that's why I started putting videos up, and that's why the quality is poor, but also I value that they're genuine. So anyway, so I don't make contact, but I'm happy to pull out my phone and give you a couple of minutes of my time, but I'm not going to spend it editing or writing scripts and things like that. So to get these apart, I pulled the sock down. Now there's a piece of foam here which is in not the best condition. It's kind of fallen apart, and you can see the remnants of it. And then the sock comes up, so that's pretty straightforward. I prized off, see this screen here? It had all the staples around it, and this was sealed in with some gunk, and I just used this old knife that is probably about 80 years old. I think it's part of a mechanical hacksaw blade, and cleaned it off. And then what I did is I wired the stereo up to this carcass of the CX27, and then after the crossover I just grabbed 2 wires, as you can see, and I connected it to the drivers. And first off I listened to the woofers, and to be honest they sounded pretty good. So then I thought, oh, it must be the tweeters. So I wired it up to the tweeters, and they sounded pretty good. And so then I stuffed a pillow on each one to block out the other one, because they're in parallel and I didn't want to cut the wires because everything is soldered, they're not spade terminals. And I wasn't confident enough that the drivers were the problem to buy or even to risk damaging the cabinets to get them out. So I'm going to do some head scratching and chin rubbing. I might even ask my mate Ian. I've got a friend, and he's a knowledgeable cunt on electronic stuff, and he used to work for the Australian Broadcasting Commission, and what he doesn't know isn't worth knowing. So I'll do a bit of contemplating myself and work out where I'm going to go next. But I just thought this might be interesting to see it apart, so that if anyone is going to disassemble a time window, this material, it peels off. When I put it back, I'm going to use a very poor quality glue and just a few dobs here and there, because you don't want to glue it down well, because at some point in the future you're going to have to remove it. And so you only want some crappy, cheapo Chinese glue or something like that. All right, the other thing, I was thinking about these time windows too that I've had for a long time. And just to clarify a couple of things, I couldn't show you last time because I got one hand holding the phone, haven't I? If you look on, as you can see, the head is a completely separate component to the base, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trim pots under here. I have never adjusted them. You can see from the factory they have a mark, and I would be loath to do that. I actually do have the owner's manual that came with them when I bought it, which actually, now I think about it, if they only made a few, may be the only one in existence, because it's typed out on a typewriter. That's how old it is. This is going by my memory. I haven't seen it for 30 years, if I've still got it. It's typed out on a typewriter, and there's some actually handwritten notes and little drawings, which I presume are by Steve. And I've got some of Steve's handwriting. How's that for a thought? And I think I'm sure I've got that somewhere. The other cool thing, I'll just try and hold this still. It's got the 658 is the serial number. I don't know if you can see that. But the thing that I think is most cool is right at the bottom, the line says, "For the audiophile who would rather listen to music than to equipment." And I think that's the origin of the time windows sort of ethos. I'm trying to see, because you know me. All right, so that's what's going on inside there. And inside this head unit, I have opened it up. It looks like a bowl of spaghetti. If you think this crossover looks like a mad woman's breakfast, you want to see inside there. I mean, it's actually made me laugh. It really did. But there's a whole string of, what are they? I think they're 47 microfarad 100 volt capacitors, and I think a lot of them are in series, and I think this is how, in an analog fashion, they get a delay which splits the direct sound and the reflected sound. And the other thing, I'm going by my memory here, the other thing that I find interesting, I kind of presumed that the inside, or we'll call it a direct field, noise would come first, and then this one, there'd be a delay on this side, so that by the time they arrived at your ear, it gave the appearance of a open, airy sort of a sound. But I'm pretty sure, and Steve Iverbeck would know this better than I'm pretty sure that the outside one comes first and the inside one is like an echo. It comes, which is, to me, is counterintuitive. It's kind of the opposite of how I would have expected it to be. But other than that, this one here, you can see, what's that front angle? Is it about 120 degrees or something? 130 degrees, I'm guessing, somewhere around there. That's the time windows angle. I can't think of anything else that I'll put up at the moment, other than to say this is the problem that I've got at the minute, and I've listened to all 4 of those drivers through the crossover network on that speaker, and they appear to be, it's hard to listen to speakers that don't have woofers that don't have tweeters and tweeters that don't have woofers, but I'm not confident enough at the moment that there's something wrong. So this is where we are at the moment. So the journey continues. I don't know. I'm just putting this crap up. If you're interested, have a laugh. And if you're not, don't watch any of my videos. But I'll say hooroo.